Drinking over there.
Little Dr. Pepper.
All right, so Anthony's back this week drinking his Dr. Pepper again. I won't give his little secret away, even though I exposed him pretty hard on last week's episode. I have no idea what Mike's drinking. This week, though, guys, what's going on? This is Usayd Koshal. Welcome into another edition of the Giants Brawl podcast. My intros get more and more impromptu every single week. All right, Mike Trainer's in the house. Follow him on Twitter at MikeTrainerMFT. Follow me on Twitter at Usayd Koshal. Think I just plugged that twice in 5 minutes. I'm not ashamed at all. Anthony's in the house too. Follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Rivardo. We got a great guest on, John. How do you say your last name, man?
Quartararo. You can just call me JQ if that's easier.
All right, yeah, JQ. Plug your Twitter handle for our followers.
It's my Twitter handle is at Jack_Quartararo. So if you could spell my last name, I give you props if you find it, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a spelling bee, literally. Okay, but anyway, guys, how are we doing today?
We're vibing.
Yeah, with the dweeby headband.
Hey.
I mean, guys, I can't complain.
Hey, my
I'm just
hair's
happy to be
long.
on an episode of Giants Brawl with all my boys right now. I mean, it's good
Oh,
to see
yeah.
you guys all. I wish we could do it an episode in person, but, it is what it is, and we always got to use Zoom now and stuff. That's like the culture, I guess.
Yeah, well, we talked last week about potentially meeting up, and the three of us are gonna record it, obviously. And I'm pretty sure that's the last time they're ever gonna allow us back into MetLife Stadium.
It's going to be a zoo once we all get together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But anyway, let's get right into it. Hold on, let me pull the outline up, guys. This is why, 2 weeks ago I named the episode Impromptu. So that's pretty much how we roll with things here. But, first things first, obviously NFL, all the social justice stuff, Goodell finally came out with a statement. The players had the video that had, Saquon in there, and Saquon was in there 3 or 4 times. I don't know why Pat Mahomes was in there. I guess just because he's the face of the league, but I thought it was a cool video. What did you guys think?
I thought it was a great video, and I thought Roger Goodell's statement was actually really, really respectable and admirable. I thought it was a great statement that he put out. I wasn't expecting him to put out a statement, and once he did, I was pretty proud of him. I thought that it was a job well done, admitting that he was wrong in the past. That was a big step forward for really the league as a whole. And then, of course, the video, that at the same time when you had so many prominent faces like Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Patrick Mahomes, and many others speaking out. I thought that it was a really important topic for everybody to get together and make a statement about, and I'm really happy that it resonated with the commissioner so much that he put out his own statement. So I thought that was really excellent stuff by the NFL, the Players Association, and the NFL itself. So I was definitely happy to see, all of them get together and put out some statements.
Absolutely. Roger Goody Two Shoes has been making up for his, for his name the past year, man. Actually, since the draft, he had a great draft. He really came together. Outstanding. This statement was pretty outstanding. Shows the times have changed. These big business corporations are getting behind it. I mean, remember not too long ago, years ago, with the whole Kaepernick situation and people not standing for the national anthem, he put out a national anthem policy. If you're not going to stand for the flag, you stay in the locker room during the national anthem. So it looks like, it took a few years, but it looks like they're getting their shit together.
I'm honestly, guys, I'm really happy Goodell came out with that statement because that's what you love to see out of the commissioner of the NFL. And also, I wanted to compare him to, Adam Silver and stuff like that because I feel like both of those commissioners do, a really good job. Obviously, Adam Silver with the NBA and Roger Goodell with the NFL. I just feel like they did a really good job of, reaching, an audience's level and, for all viewers out there. Because, I was looking at, what's his name, James Dolan, and he said, at first he wasn't going to, release a statement about all, the Black Lives Matters and, all the rioting and stuff like that. And, dude, you guys should have seen Twitter. All the Knicks stuff I saw, people were blowing up about him. They're like, oh, James Dolan. They're like, screw this guy. I think he later came out with, a little statement. But, dude, back to Goodell, I really liked what he did. And I have to agree with you too. I think it was about time that he did this because, dude, you can't just pick one side in an argument. Honestly, out there, you got to be able to go both ways and help out both sides.
People were calling for on Twitter to defund the Knicks. I seen that a couple of times. Adam Silver, I don't know, he's a little bit of a pussy to me. He kind of agrees with the players wholeheartedly, 24/7. He's got to grow some balls. He's got to get this schedule down pat. It took him so long. They're all going to play ball in Orlando. It's silly, man. Just play in your home court. This
I
virus.
think they can. I think they really can now at this point. I mean, I know coronavirus is still obviously going on, but I really like that. Just my personal opinion. I think you can have fans back in stadiums, and look at all the riots. Like, look at all those people gathered together. That's probably more than some like NBA stadiums can hold. So, like, I think it's time to start letting fans back in. If fans aren't in MetLife in the beginning of the season, I'm gonna be really upset.
Let me just say, when I saw James Dolan's first statement, I didn't even bother reading the whole thing because I was like, I already know this is going to be trash. Because right now, dude, if I had to power rank like the worst owners in sports, the Browns owners and the Knicks owners would make like my top 2 lists. Like, seriously, because those guys are business people. They're not like football minds.
James Dolan sucks.
Exactly.
He does. But I'll say I have to disagree with what you said earlier. I totally forgot what you were talking about. I'm sorry.
Wow. See, this is.
Well, Usayd, you cut in and you changed the topic, so now I got confused.
I didn't change the topic. Would you just go back to drinking your Dr. Pepper, dude?
It has nothing to do with that. Whatever, man.
Yeah, it does.
Always got to give me a tough time, Usayd.
We're like the baby of this group, so you're the
baby
I guess giant.
So. But also, I want to say real quick, last time I spoke to you, Jack, you had a mullet, I believe, right?
Yeah, so breaking news, I guess, for Giants Brawl. The barbershops were finally open in my hometown today. So I was dropping.
Thank God.
Yeah, dude. It literally was like, dude, my hair, I could like pull it like out to here. It was like so long. Wow. So I was driving my brother to his friend's house, and I peeped out the car window. I was like, hold up. I was like, wait, my barbershop's open? So I literally dropped Luke off and I rode my bike back just in case someone needed the car. And I literally waited like 2 hours for a haircut. But dude, I went skin fade on the sides. Like, this is like the summertime haircut for me.
Yeah, that's a nice fade, dude. I like it. Looks good.
Were they calling you Joe Dirt for like a couple months?
Bro, it was so long. When I told Anthony I was doing the mullet, he's like, please don't do it. I was like, too late. Yeah. I'm doing it for the draft. It's too late.
Yeah, that wasn't your best luck, man.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a haircut one of these days because my hair's super long. But if the line's long, like, I'm just going to dip, seriously.
Don't get a haircut, dude. Just get a headband.
I'm not going to get a headband.
Too. You can do that. I should have done that.
It works, man.
I haven't heard anybody with a mullet get any ass in like 20 years. Continue to cut that shit.
I mean, my girlfriend kind of did like the long hair, so I gotta disagree with that statement. But she's not a short hair type. She doesn't like my short hair, but it is what it is. That's what I tell her.
He's no simp.
No, I ain't no simp.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, guys, so moving on, obviously the social justice stuff seems like it's going in the right direction. I know some of you guys that listen to the podcast every single week, we thank you guys for your support, but you guys want to know who the Giants starting center is going to be. For some reason, I'm going to let Anthony take this one away first. Anthony, who's the starting center going to be? Because they have like a couple options here.
So I think it's going to be a battle between Spencer Pulley, Nick Gates, and Shane Lemieux. And I've got to say, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to put it on Nick Gates. I think he's going to come away with the win. I think that he was really impressive playing both right guard and right tackle in a limited capacity last season. But I think now that he's been training to become a center, knowing that that's a position that he's going to be battling for, I think that he's really going to impress some people because he's a really talented, athletic, and young offensive lineman who understands what it means to be versatile. And I'm a really big fan of Nick Gates. And I think once you see that center position, once you see that battle open up, I think Nick Gates is going to jump at that, and he's going to win that job. That's my opinion.
I would give it to Nick Gates first just because, like, Shane Lemieux, I mean, have him play – if he starts – let's just say he's playing a couple games this season, start him off at, like, one of the guard positions because those are much easier to learn than center or tackle because, like I said a couple weeks ago when we were discussing the offensive line, center's the quarterback of the entire offensive line. You got to make the calls. There's no way like Lemieux is ready to step in from day one and just take the reins and make all the adjustments and whatnot.
Well, that is why Spencer Pulley makes a lot of sense because he actually is a center. But I'll let somebody else talk about Pulley and Lemieux. But I just think that Nick Gates is the best option in my opinion.
I love Nick Gates, right, Barkley? He knows. I love Nick Gates. But I tell you, the more I watch Lemieux, like the tape I watch him on, and, if he could hold down the center position, maybe he could be ready. Maybe he shocks the world. And with Joe Judge and, with our, Colombo coaching him up, maybe he has a shot to start at center. And then we could have Nick Gates possibly maybe, get the starting job at right tackle. That might happen because Soldier, I don't know, man. I don't know if he lasts a year. I really don't know.
Good point.
Guys, I think it's going to be really interesting. I think it's just going to be the most competitive guy and, who works the hardest is going to win. I think it's either going to be Nick Gates or Spencer Pulley. I don't think Lemieux is going to get thrown in right away unless he wins the job over them. If he does, then I'm totally fine with Shane Lemieux starting at center. But I got to go with Gates or Pulley. I don't think Jalapillo's going to, make the team. I think he's going to get cut. Dude, he's been battling 2 serious injuries for the last 2 seasons. So, but I would like to say Solder at right tackle, my guy Nate, but dude, I think it's Andrew Thomas at left, and I think it's going to be either Nick Gates at right, or maybe we'll see some Fleming or Matt Parrott. Who knows, right, Anthony?
Hopefully Matt Parrott, dude. I'm a big Matt Parrott fan.
Hold on, Jalapio's still on this team. I'm not gonna say anything about Jalapio because the last time I brought his name up, like some dude left us a shitty review on iTunes and just called me crazy, and I was like, bro, the only reason Jalapio started like last season is because he was the best option that they had because there's no talent on this roster outside of like 1 or 2 positions maybe.
Yeah, I think he's not signed. I think they're gonna sign him. But I think they might just sign him to like that minimum veteran deal just to kind of give him a shot because he got hurt. They kind of like owe him that in that respect. And maybe comes with a signs a backup deal. You could always use a backup.
Yeah, I definitely think they'll re-sign him, but I don't think he's signed on the roster yet. But they will re-sign him for a very cheap deal, like you said, Mike.
I wouldn't mind it back.
No, I wouldn't at all, dude. He's kind of got that big blue mentality. I always just like, we all saw how the Giants offensive line was in 2019, but I just felt like, I think of the players more as like, their personality and stuff like that and just how they carry themselves. Like, that's why I'm such a huge Saquon Barkley fan because he's just the GOAT and we all know that. But it would be sad if he doesn't get the job, but dude, best man wins in my case, boys.
Fair enough. I do think, though, it's kind of an uphill battle for both Lemieux and Nick Gates since Spencer Pulley actually does have experience starting football games at center, which neither of them have. So I think that's going to be tough for them to actually win that job. But I do think that you want to take the more talented, younger player. You can actually build on a player like Nick Gates or Shane Lemieux. I don't really think that you can build on a player like Spencer Pulley. I think maybe he could give you a couple of years. And he's not super old necessarily, but he's just – we kind of know what he is already, and that's kind of like a replacement-level starter at center. So I think let's just take a shot on one of these boomer busts like, swing players that we have in Gates or Lemieux.
Dude,
Pulley needs to, like, go on, like, Monster.com and start looking for another job. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's still around, is Monster still around? I don't even know. Maybe
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, what? Wow.
I think he's a great backup, though.
No, let's see, when I was applying for my jobs when I was like 12 years old, like Anthony's age, I used Indeed.com.
Indeed's still around. I had to make a Indeed profile for my business class.
Oh.
How was that?
It went all right, I didn't really use it because I already got a job with ESM, the best – Alex is the GOAT. That's all I'm going to say.
Goaty. He's a goaty.
Oh, my. Okay. If you guys follow Alex Wilson on Twitter, please go tell him how awful that tweet was, the goatee tweet. I can't believe he sent that. That was the worst tweet I've ever read in my life.
I'm going to have to text him later and be like, yo, you good, bro? Like, what was that?
Dude.
Wait.
We're roasting him about that tomorrow on our live stream, dude. We're doing that.
Okay.
Explain it. I have to – somebody read it. I have no idea what you guys
– All right, I'll read it out. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I'm stalking his Twitter, like, right now.
All right, let me do it. Because I responded to it. I told him you have to delete this.
All right, so I got to figure your thing out now. Yeah, but I was going to – while you find the tweet on the reel, though, I think this is the first time in what feels like forever that this offensive line has, like, this many different options. Why are my lights all of a sudden going on and off? Holy crap. But yeah, anyway, this is the first time in forever that we have like multiple options on the offensive line in the sense that you can have like 3 or 4 guys just playing like one position.